bit of authority on the stage, like a world champion should be. He played very well. So he's you know, he hasn't. I thought he might go a little bit first game, but he didn't.
Yeah.
He raised his game to the opponent.
And Mark McGinney's kind of the unknown quantity that you're excited about, and if he can raise his game a little bit, which we think he will do, that's more of a contest than most people think.
Well, Mark, he's a very, very tidy player. I see him at the England Opens and that, and he plays very, very well. He's a quiet guy. No one knows him, only in the darts world.
Yeah.
He's the sort of guy, if he does start pumping them in, he could do some damage.
Well, Scott Waits against Gert de Vos, that jumps out as well from that list. In fact, the list goes on and on. I'm looking forward to Doggy Dawson against Jeff Smith, the silencer who knocked out Martin Adams. But hopefully, whatever that game is, that we're going to see a little bit of quality shine through injuries along the way. Now, listen, let's start where we need to start, right at the beginning. The #1 seed's going to be in this stage in a few minutes, Glenn Durrant. And whether he's awake or he's asleep, he's got his eyes on the prize.
There was things that wasn't right in my first game and the way I felt, and that could be to do with the fact I was the #1 seed. I've got to get a little bit more nasty and just have that, you know, punch the air when I win a leg. I was trying to be Mr. Nice, and I just didn't feel right.
And young Dean Reynolds, the Welshman, is accounted for in straight sets. Glenn Durrant, not at his very best.
You know, to win 3-0 against someone as classy as Dean and still come off disappointed pretty much sums me up, really. I'm just beginning to learn how to win. That mental side of the game is, you know, it's a fundamental part of sport, and I think that's probably been the secret. I mean, the opening time when I came to Lakeside, I was in a VIP room all the time. You know, I sampled the atmosphere, but I was never away from the place. And I found a local workman's club, and they get on great with me, and I get on great with them. They open the club at 9:30 in the morning for me, lock the door, and, you know, I get an hour, 2 hours on my own with my travelling partner for a good practice. I've been going on a couple of walks into Frimley, into Camberley, and just sampling things around and just getting away from the place. So just learned with experience what to do with my time. I'm really happy in the BDO. I'm really happy being their world #1. I'm really happy being the world master. What I would say is if I won Lakeside, I would honour the trophy. I would remain in the BDO. Most nights I go to sleep, I think of that winning dart, you know, to win Lakeside and how I'd react. You know, I'm a proud Teessider, and I just feel like I'm doing things for Middlesbrough. I'm really proud of my roots and where I'm from.
I wouldn't pay a huge amount of attention to Larry Butler's stats. This new qualification system has given him a chance to get here again for a second time. 1992 was his first and last time here. A 24-year absence, and they say you remember your defeats, Bobby George, as much as your wins. And you had a through the stage, believe it or not, Bobby's only the #2 mouthpiece here. The #1 is little Richard Ashdown. Let's get the players on.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the British Darts Organisation, welcome to the 2016 Lakeside World Championships. We move into the second round here at the home of World Darts, the Lakeside! We now introduce to the stage our USA Regional Qualifier. He's a former World Match Play Champion, the Winmore World Masters finalist from Ohio. It's the Eagle, Larry Butler! We now welcome to the stage a Lakeside World Championship semi-finalist and the current holder of 6 world ranking titles. He's the world #1, the reigning Winmore World Masters Champion, England's Dozzer, Glenn Durrant.
Stits of excitement in the commentary box. It's Matos Alexander and JR, John Rowley.
And good afternoon to you. Glen Durrant, the 2-1 favourite to win this BDO World Championship, and of course a massive favourite to win this one, but they know all about each other's game. In the final of that Winmore World Masters last year, Glen Durrant beat Larry Butler, but earlier in that week, in the qualification for the Grand Slam, it was Butler who beat Durrant. And speaking to Larry, he says that he is more than ready to win this match, and he's not intimidated about facing the world #1. He's a computer expert from Dayton, Ohio, the Eagle, and you can hear there's some USA support in the crowd, most notably from his wife Sharon, who I'm sure will be waving the flag happily if he starts to produce anything like the form of which he's capable. Glen Durrant from Middlesbrough, though, has had a terrific year, and if he can replicate that, he is going to take some stopping here this week. Already he's accounted for Dean Reynolds. He said he felt very nervous in that opening match. Can he produce his best today?
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's the best of 7 sets. First set, first leg, it's Glen to throw first. Game on.
I'll tell you what, we could be in for some fireworks. Even the walk-ons have got this place buzzing.
60.
If they produce anything like the darts they did in the Grand Slam qualifier, only 9 legs, but still, it was something special.
Very high quality match that was, which Butler won by 5-4. Went all the way. And Butler is a really good finisher. Might not get the big scores, but if he gets anything like big scores, and if he can hold Durrant on the actual scoring power, then Butler has got certainly the game and the finishing power to be right in the mix, and maybe even spring what would be a huge upset.
Well, where he plays, Larry Butler, and the sort of matches he plays tend to be shorter matches, so you haven't got time to mess about trying to find your double. You either find it or you've lost.
And he's not somebody who's a stranger to the hockey either. He plays something like 35 weekends a year, which is a busy itinerary. What a year Glen Durrant's had, though, since losing to Wolfie Adams in that fabulous semi-final last year, when he averaged nearly 100 but came up short. He's just swept his way through tournament after tournament, and 6 titles he's won in 2015. Butler has an opportunity in this opening leg. He's ahead against the darts.
Larry, you require 118.
So let's see about some of that scoring and finishing power. Treble 20 for double 19, no. Off the barrel and into the 1.
40.
Not that time. Durrant there, 141. We all know the way this goes, starting with a treble 20. Now for treble 19. It's on. Double 12. What about that for a way to start a match? A 141 checkout, and Larry Butler can only stand and admire, and gives him a sporting little round of applause.
Treated us to a 1-4-4 in the quarterfinals against Darryl Fitton last year, Glen Durrant. In that semi-final you mentioned against Martin Adams, he hit 13 180s, and of course missed 3 match darts to reach the final. He lost 5-3 in the deciding set.
He's certainly up there at the moment, looking as though he's very much got his match head on, doesn't he? 141 check out, and there's that look of steely determination. He's such a nice fella away from the stage, but as Any player has to have that killer instinct and produce darts like that. Opening maximum of the match could be the first of many.
Great chance to break here.
59.
Butler's nowhere. And Durrant's on 181 after 6 darts.
$100.
Well, he's potentially an 11 darter. 81 and no pressure at all from Butler. So Durrant
42.
can here pick up the first break of the match.
Treble 10 for double 16. Doesn't need to hit it this time and won't.
49.
Still not happy about missing that treble 10 though. You could see the look of irritation muttering to himself. But anyway, he can rectify matters now with a double 16. Beautiful.
And the second leg.
2 doubles out of 2 attempts. And 2 legs to the good.
Well, we talked about Larry Butler's finishing. How about Glenn Durrant's? A 1-4-1 to take out the first leg with the darts. A 13 dart leg to follow it. And how about a bit more of that? He's not the top seed for nothing.
What a response! The big fella from the United States awakens.
We hoped it would be good. We expected it to be good. It is good. It's better than good. It's outstanding already.
Nice cover shot from Butler.
96.
How he'd love to nick a leg back. Needs to get into this match, Larry. Longer format at this stage. First to 4 sets now.
57.
Looking very much as though Durrant is going to take it, but Butler can put that throw under pressure. Another treble would help.
99. Glenn, you require 164.
Well, it can be done. Not anymore. So Butler will come back with 1-2-6. Not a bad finish.
60.
All about the 19s.
Let's see what he can make of it.
If you miss one of the treble 19s, as he has done, a second one leaves you the bullseye. Not far away.
Glenn, you require
104 for Durrant. Starting at the top of the board. Good dart. 18 would leave double 16. Here he goes, 1 dart at it. And brilliant finishing again. A 104. Making him the winner of the opening set. Superb darts. He's averaging over 98. And 3 doubles out of 3. 100% checkout rate.
41.
The only double Larry Butler aimed for was that bullseye in the third leg. And he didn't miss it by much. We mentioned that the finishing would be key, and this is just great. Again, another maximum to start a leg from the top seed. The finishing's perfect, and the scoring's not bad either.
80.
That's 4. Quality darts. A 3-figure average for Durrant. That's why he's, at the moment,
60.
Giving Butler a bit of a tousling.
Yeah. If you missed his opening 2 matches, Larry Butler, he had to play 84. A preliminary round match against James Hurrell. just to reach the first round proper. He won that 3-2. He then played Ryan de Vrede of Holland.
54.
Won that 3-2.
require 137.
And Durrant now is on a finish again. This time, though, he won't get the massive check out, but he's a long way clear. And setting it up
97.
nicely.
And those were Butler's first matches on the Lakeside stage since 1992, when he made his debut.
83. Glenn, you require 40.
Hasn't missed one yet. Yep.
Game short, and the first leg, Glenn Durrant.
When you're that far ahead,
Ropers.
you can afford one wonky dart at a double. In fact, he could have afforded more. Outstanding from Durrant.
He said to me in his first round match when he beat Dean Reynolds, he was shaking like a leaf inside.
95.
He was really relieved to get through that, wasn't he?
Absolutely. I think the
59.
mantle of favouritism obviously carries a pressure with it.
$140.
He had a real spring in his step for the rest of the day after coming through that match, Glenn Durrant.
60.
He's had time to get his game head back on again.
Well, he did pretty well, didn't he? Because Dean Reynolds is a good player. And he won fairly comfortably. Beforehand, he looked at the draw, and some are harder than others, and he looked at his and he thought, I've got a real toughie here. So he was relieved to get it away.
60. $57. $97. Glenn, you require
164 is the finish. He's already had a 141. He'll get another visit. Butler back on 225.
60.
Larry Butler just could do with a score here to leave himself a reasonable finish if Durrant misses the 104. And the way he's throwing, it is a big if.
90. Glenn, you require
104 for 2-0. Treble 18 would leave double 16. Can't do it. So a treble 20 would put him on to double 4. Maybe his option.
56. Larry, you require 135.
So this one starts with a bullseye. Treble 20 for Bull. It's only his second dart at a double. They've both been at the red bit in the dead centre of the board. Can he find it this time?
110. Glenn, you require
Good effort.
48.
48 for Durrant. 16s. Double 16 now. Good darts.
Game
Really
shot
good
on the
darts.
second
5
leg.
doubles
Glenn
out of
Durrant.
6.
Third leg is
And
Larry.
he's won 5 legs on the spin.
$95.
Astonishing checking out from the top seed. 5 out of 6. If you're new to darts, anything over 50% is fantastic. Over 60s,
60.
wonderful tournament winning stuff. 83 is unheard of, though we are still in the early stages of this match.
100.
His actual scoring has just gone off the boil a little bit, Durrant, from a quite brilliant start.
95.
Still scoring heavily enough to have left Larry Butler just 2 darts at a double and both at bullseye in this entire match.
62.
This is more like it. His fourth maximum of the match already.
121.
No outshot, 166 required. But the throw of Butler under a lot of pressure now.
134. Larry, you require 123.
To win a leg, 16 leaves bullseye. If he hits the treble, it's double nine, so a bullseye again.
73.
He went for the double nine.
32.
Maybe he thought he hit the treble.
Well, that was a massive miscount.
Game
It's been
shot
punished.
and the second set.
That's a set again already. 6 legs in a row. 6 doubles out of 7 attempts.
Third set, first leg. It's Glenn to throw first. Game on.
Treble 16 would have left double nine. That was his thinking. And he got a single 16.
Here we go again, Glenn Durrant. Oh, yes! Yes, indeed! 5 maximums in 6 and a bit legs.
60.
He's back in the zone now.
It's wonderful to watch. Wonderful unless you're Larry Butler. There's another one. Just the wrong side of the wire.
100.
Annoyed to miss it. He's fancying that 52,000 quid bonus for the 9-darter.
You wouldn't bet against him just in the
81.
way he's throwing at the moment.
Well, he's upped his game from his opening match significantly. We kind of watched him come through against Dean Reynolds and thought he's got another gear to go into, and he's starting to show that in this match.
91. $140.
Already on a finish.
130.
Treble 20 leaves bullseye. He doesn't have to take it out and won't. Butler again.
83.
Way back on 220. You've got to feel a bit for Larry Butler here.
Well, he's just not got into the match, has he? Not been given an opportunity. He's just been
60.
battered out there, and
Glenn,
he's
you
just not
require
scoring
47.
heavily enough.
Double 16 then for Glenn Durrant for a 7th leg in a
Game
row.
shot and the first leg.
7 doubles out of 8
Second
batters.
leg. Larry to throw first.
Truly, genuinely extraordinary.
93.
So Larry Butler has had just 3 darts at a double, all at bullseye. So his average, and his average with his first 9 darts, are almost identical.
100.
He's just being swamped. They take a break at the end of the next set, and it can't come soon enough for Butler.
100.
Desperately needs to get into this match somehow.
Well, he's simply not being allowed to. And the trouble is, everyone says you play the board, not the man, but when the man is throwing the sort of darts that Glenn Durrant is currently, that's an awfully difficult thing to do.
55.
Those are-
Seigo Asada, the Japanese player with an American flag.
Those flags looked rather forlorn, didn't
104.
they? Just at the moment. He's on to a finish again already. And I tell you what, John,
85.
you wouldn't be surprised if he took this out.
He's had 5
170.
maximums. Needs another couple of treble 20s here before a bullseye. Not this time. 161 is the current highest checkout.
22.
Scott Mitchell it was who got that 161.
57. Glenn, you require 148.
Again, must start with a treble 20 and does. Another one for double 14 for a 148.
Oh, to the second leg. Glenn Durrant.
You'd watch an awful lot of darts matches before you saw finishing like this. 89% checkout rate.
It's Glenn to throw first. Game on.
8 legs in a row. 8 doubles in 9 attempts. Extraordinary. Sensational. Brilliant
56.
darts from Durrant.
And just one more leg now to go. 3 sets up. That's better.
140.
There's Larry Butler's wife, Sharon.
She hasn't applauded much, but that 140 was much needed.
97.
Has he got it in him to be able to fight back? Has he got the game to do that? Well, if he keeps on doing this, maybe.
121.
Do you know what? Larry Butler might be first to a finish.
$100. 100.
And he is. 140 when he returns. That was unlucky, that second dart.
100.
So close to being another maximum.
Larry, you require 140.
2 treble 20s and a treble 10. No, can't be done. He still just had 3 darts at bullseye to win legs. Just that.
83.
To show for 8
Then
legs
you
of
require
darts.
125.
Bulls, maybe. Tops.
105.
He's missed one.
Larry, you require 57.
Tops he needs. Must hit it.
Must
hit it to lift another cheers.
Larry Butler. Fourth leg is Larry to throw
USA,
first.
USA, USA, they chant.
And a little half smile. He knows what he can do.
62. $96.
This is better.
Wow.
And there's his third maximum of the match. Second rather, and we've had 7 already.
USA again, did you hear it?
60. $99.
One thing you can say about Larry is that he's got a very good temperament. He just does keep chugging along.
Absolutely right.
$160.
85. Larry, you require 160.
Treble 20s needed. But Durrant's well back. So he leaves
60.
leaves himself with a ton when he comes back.
He won't want to lose this set, Glenn Durrant.
100. Larry, you require 100.
But Butler is right back in it if he takes this out. Great dart. Tops to level up this particular set. Double 10.
80. Glenn, you require 160.
Well, this is for the set. 8 20s in all required. Needed 2 trebles to start it.
100.
Double 10 for Butler.
Larry, you require 20.
Only got 1 double out of 6. This is so important.
No score.
Well, we talked about what a good finisher he is, and he's not showing it.
Tops for Durrant and a 3-set lead. Double 10. Half the crowd thought it was in. I think he thought it was in, but that one is in.
And the third set. Glenn Durrant.
Middlesbrough on his shirt. They're going all right in the championship just now, and Glenn Durrant going very nicely indeed in this match. He leads by 3 sets to 0.
Well, Glenn Durrant warmed up with Mark from the chase, but he's streets ahead so far against Larry Butler. He's masterminded a 3-set lead. His specialist subject, ton plus finishes. Well, Bobby George, he had big words before his second round match here, and they were big darts to back it up.
Well, 89% on your doubles, that's unbelievable. It's really unbelievable. And he scored so well as well.
He missed one there, so it went down to a lowly 75%. Now, the ton plus finishes, that was the showbiz in the room. There was 3 of them. They came from all different parts of the board, Bobby. Lovely stuff, lovely stuff.
Well, you're 104, 141, 148. Now, Butler was good at finishing, but he had a chance there to take another leg. But before that, he only had chances at bullseyes. 3 bullseyes he missed. But he hasn't scored. He's not keeping up with Glenn at all. His scoring power is not there. So he's under pressure if he has got a shot, because he knows the next game, if he doesn't score, Glenn's going to go now and beat him up again.
At this stage, Glenn Durrant was rocking 100 average. It dipped a little bit, mainly because I suppose he was finding himself, Bobby, so comfortably ahead in legs. He was finding himself ahead by 100 points, 150 points, 200 points, so it becomes where you feel like you're playing yourself, don't you, if you're Glenn Durrant at times?
Well, it's nice to do that, really. When you're playing well, it's like a practice session.
Yeah.
He said he's been close to the door and practiced 2 hours on his own. So he's playing the game when he's practicing. Well, when he was there, it was a practice game, really, because Butler never put no pressure on him whatsoever.
Yeah.
So obviously he's going to play well. If Butler starts hitting the good scores and putting pressure on, then he can turn the game round, but he's got to back up quick, because Glenn's playing really, really good darts.
From the walk-on, sometimes, Bobby, from this position on the balcony, we watch him come out, we see the bits that the cameras don't see, and when Duzzo was coming out, Larry Butler was trying to remember where he should stand on the stage. He just felt anxious to me, he looked anxious to me off camera, waiting on Glenn to come out, and it is a big occasion for him. We said earlier about 22 years between lakeside appearances.
Well, he's worked hard. He had to qualify for this, so he's a very good player to go through the qualification. But remember, it's 22 years since he's been here.
Yeah.
Now, he don't want to leave it to another 22 years, so he wants to play well to see if he can get further in the tournament. And he was lost a bit up there, really, to be honest with you. He was he's snatching his darts. The first 3 sets was the big legs were snatching, like a Jockey Wilson snatching edge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then he started throwing a bit more straighter, and then he started scoring.
What about when you're playing against somebody like what Durrant's been doing? He's hit 9 out of 12 shots at doubles, 75%. But you've been in that situation where you've been hitting those doubles, but you've also been the other player. What's it like when you know your opponent's likely to hit it when he gets to it?
We don't like it, really. In your mind, you think, you know, miss, miss, miss. In your head, you do. But then that's the game. The game is to beat your opponent up, keep on top of him, don't give him a chance. But the break, sometimes the break helps the player that's not playing well.
Absolutely.
So let's see Butler play a little better than he has been.
Another point which is it's really important, we actually saw it last night in some of the first round games. A lead can, I know he's 1 set away, Glenn, and every penny I have would be on him to win right now, don't get me wrong, but Larry is throwing first in this set, so if you look at it from a tennis point of view, he's 1 set behind in that way. If he holds his throw and turns his game around, I don't think he will, I'm just saying it's only the set after this one he has to win against the darts to be 3-all.
It looks really bad at the moment. 3-0 looks terrible.
Yeah.
But like you say, if he holds his darts, then he's got a chance to get back in the game.
But Glenn looking untouchable at the moment. It's game on again. That means it's game on for John Rolling and Vassos Alexander.
So first things first for Larry Butler, hold your throw in this leg.
97.
And to that end, that was a nice third dart. We do sometimes see big turnarounds after little breaks.
We saw one big turnaround last night,
93.
didn't we? With Brian Dawson coming fighting back when he was 2 down. 2-0 down and winning it 3-2 against John Walton. Walton had a couple of darts at double top to win that match. Still, Brian wasn't phased. Little scrapper of a player he is, and Butler needs to be likewise.
Well, speaking of darts to win a match,
9.
This man, Glenn Durrant, had 3 darts to reach the final here last year. And even though he put it out of his mind to the extent that he won 6 ranking titles and got himself seeded #1, and unquestionably, I think, has been the best player on the BDO circuit, it must have rankled. Somewhere in the back of his mind, those darts must have rankled.
And you've still got to do it when you get up there, haven't you? You know, he may have the run of form behind him, but he's got to produce. Look at the PDC of Michael van Gerwen, the year he had. And when it came to the World Championships, he was found wanting.
Yep.
99. Glenn, you require 101.
Another 3-figure finish. 12 for double 16. He hasn't missed it, or he has now?
85. Larry, you require 103.
Larry on the throw has to take out 103. Treble 16 would leave double 18.
53.
It's not good.
Glenn, you require 16.
2 8s then for Duzza. 2 missed doubles in a row. We've not seen that from him yet.
Game shot.
We won't see 3.
Leg. Glenn Durrant. Second leg is Glenn to throw first.
So his nose is ahead, and that's a break of throw. And so now it looks as though it would take a near miracle for Butler to get back into this.
.93.
He was pleased with that last dart, with good reason.
.45.
Averaging over 100, Glenn Durrant, with his first 9 darts. 96.2 overall. It's pretty nice.
95.
And the finishing is not shabby either from Glenn Durrant.
100.
Despite those 2 missed doubles in a row in the last leg, 10 from 15, you'll take that any day of the week.
2 right. That's a bit unlucky.
100.
It's got to break the throw, and that's going to help.
180.
Still not on the finish though. Durrant will have first pop at finishing this. Coming down the board.
139.
Very handy indeed. Nicely placed.
Well, he's miscounted once. Make sure you don't do it again, Larry.
136.
It's been awful to see him fill that up, and no score to be called.
I don't think he was about to do that. 74. 20 for tops. For 2-0.
34. Larry, you require 40.
An unusual wild one. Butler, double 10.
30.
No, sir.
Glenn, you require 40.
I think she'll be folding up that flag before too long.
Oh.
Game charge in the second
Just
leg.
as Larry Butler
Glenn
may have sniffed another
Third leg
opportunity,
is Larry to throw first.
Glenn Durrant
Game on.
extinguishes those hopes with a dart at double 5.
So one more leg for the match.
He's only won one, Butler.
140.
All match.
Anything you can do. Matching Butler's 140 opener.
60.
And now he could put him under some pressure. Not lying well, coming down the board. Now for 18.
57.
Well, it's not been a tight match, it's not been a close match, it's not been an exciting match, but it's been fascinating to watch because of what Glenn Durrant did principally in those first 2 sets, but is still doing now.
180.
He's a potential 12-darter if he takes out 124 to win the match. Larry just checking the scoreboard, deciding to stay where he was, so Durrant 124 to win it.
124.
To seal one of the most one-sided matches you will ever see. Treble 18 leaves the bullseye for the match for Glenn Durrant. It would be a fitting way
99.
to finish. It's only a little low.
Larry, you require 93.
Great effort. Butler needs 93 to keep the match alive. Treble 19 would leave a double 8 from there. And he can't do it now. So Durrant 25
53.
for 4-0.
Glenn, you require 25.
The Middlesbrough contingent still screaming their support. Their man is very close to the finishing line now. 1 dart away, in fact, a double 8 away.
Game, job, and the match is Glenn Durrant.
A truly sparkling performance from the top seed. He has blown Larry Butler off the hockey. Butler only won 1 leg. Glenn Durrant, the top seed, through to the quarterfinals, and how.
Ladies and gentlemen, as he leaves the stage, Larry Butler. But through to the quarterfinals, does Glenn Durrant.
The Butler just got served. Glenn Durrant shown just why he's the #1 seed, in the crowd here at the Lakeside waiting on him hand and foot. Well, Bobby, when you're not